War and Revolution, section. Natives, Jews, and Bolsheviks. Jews were a significant presence in the new colonial territories. Themselves natives, they thus shared the condition of blacks. They were an integral part of the world of forced labor. And Native Americans, they were marked down for decimation or liquidation. Insofar as they were included among the intelligentsia of the new territorial colonies, Jews were destined to suffer an even worse fate than the mass of natives. They had to be liquidated so that the natives resigned themselves to the condition of Native Americans or blacks. The fate of Bolsheviks in Russia was similar to that of Jewry. They were a constitutive element of the intelligentsia to be destroyed because, by its very existence, it hampered the construction of the coveted colonial empire, or rendered it impossible. Hitler clearly defined his objective. Once the Judeo-Bolshevik intelligentsia had been eliminated by employing the most brutal violence, he would finish by crushing the Russian people. The liquidation of Jewish and Bolshevik intellectuals, the two categories tended to be identified, was the precondition for depriving the huge Asiatic state of any ruling, unifying element and configuring it as a shapeless amalgam of internecine struggles between tribes resigned to their yoke. Up to this point, we have been dealing with the operations required to build the German colonial empire. With the attack on the USSR, however, a new element enters the picture, that of the Holy War in defense of civilization. Denunciation of October as a Judeo-Bolshevik conspiracy now reached its most tragic conclusion. General Blum communicated the orders received, quote, "Eastern Jewry constitutes the intellectual reserve of Bolshevism, and hence, in the Führer's opinion, must be destroyed." End quote. As well as building the new colonial empire, the crusade in the East now aimed to detect and destroy the bacillus of dissolution wherever it was to be found. The poison of dissolution that acted via Bolshevik cadres was to be neutralized once and for all, but without forgetting that the chief carriers of the Bolshevik infection were the Jews. In Goebbels' words, quote, "Jewish terror was the core of Eastern Bolshevism, that mortal enemy of civilization." The Jews were doubly Oriental and doubly barbarous. They were an Asiatic people, alien to Europe and the West, as had been stressed by Houston Chamberlain and the anti-Semitic tradition that fed into Nazism. They therefore formed part of the native populations. Furthermore, they were the inspirers of Eastern Bolshevism, were, in fact, the ethnic basis of the virus-eroding civilization that was to be eliminated for good. End section.